Hi besties, what's up? My name is Mackenzie and welcome to my channel and welcome to another day of Bookmas. Today we are going to be talking about my 5-star reads of the year, my favorite books of the year. I'm gonna cry because this never seems to be in line no matter what I do to fix it. Alright, hopefully that's better. It still looks kind of crooked to me. I just don't know. I don't know how to work this tripod. Anyways, we are here to gush about my 5-star reads. Luckily for me, I own most of these books. Unluckily for me, I cannot find some of them. So, I have my little listy list right here, and then I have all the books that I own that I can find. I have them right in front of me. So, we are going to be just grabbing off the pile, occasionally throwing in some books that I either cannot find or some books that I don't own, because there are just a couple, I think, that I don't own from this stack. So first, I'm going to break my rule just a little bit, and we are going to talk about a book that I read and loved, but is just not quite 5 stars, but it is so close. So, the one honorable mention I have for this video is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. So, if you don't know, this book follows Wes and Liz. And Liz and Wes have kind of been at odds with each other for the longest time. And one day, someone from Liz's past that she used to have a gigantic crush on comes back into their life, and she basically asks Wes if he is willing to possibly fake date her to make this other guy jealous. And obviously, we all know how it goes with fake dating. So, I really love this book. I really do. I wish I knew why it wasn't 5 stars. I really do. This is so close to a 5-star, yet it just didn't quite reach it. Here are some of my tabs. As you can see, I didn't annotate like the first 120 pages, so I will go back eventually and reread this and annotate them. I was also in the car while annotating, so I'm sure that left me with some pretty interesting lines. Oh, yep. Oh, goodness. I wish I could show you these lines, but I'm pretty sure all of them are probably spoilers. Look at how awful that is. Now, listen, I'm not saying I'm perfect at highlighting, but some of the annotations in this book are just rough. But, yeah, I love this book. I wish I knew why it wasn't 5 stars, but I really, truly, I think about this book a lot. I love it a lot. Alrighty, let's get into my 5 stars. Now, the first one I want to talk about is Yona of the Dawn, Volume 2 by Mizuho Kusanagi. If I'm going to continue on with the series, I need to figure out how to say their name. But if you don't know, Yona of the Dawn follows Princess Yona, and one day, someone who she's hoping to become betrothed to in the first volume shows up at the castle, and essentially things stir up from there. And everything that goes on in the first volume basically makes it so Yona has to sneak out of the castle so that she doesn't meet the same fate as her father. We also have Hawk. He is the bodyguard. I'm sure I've talked about 100 times on this channel how hot Hawk is. I don't need to talk about him anymore, but Yona of the Dawn Volume 2 actually took me by, it shocked me. To be honest, I did not love the first one. In fact, I was like, what did I just read? And am I even going to continue on with this? Because I know it's one of Katie from Katie's Readings favorite, manga series, and I've just heard really great things about it. Sorry, I was fixing a tab. But I was super nervous to continue on with this, and I'm so glad I read Volume 2. I just need to continue on with it. But here are the tabs for this one. Not all of them are tabbed, but I do want to show you some of the books that are tabbed. Next, I want to talk about Everyone's an Alien When You're an Alien Too by Jomny Sun. This is a very cute graphic novel that essentially shows an alien that's coming down to Earth to basically destroy it, essentially. And he becomes friends with all these things that he thinks are human, even though none of them are, actually. And it's about him learning how to love Earth and learning that you can be friends with all different types of people. And it is so heartwarming. I'm sure it made me tear up a couple times. I got this recommendation from Chloe bunny, and I love it. There's a reason that a lot of people talk highly of it. I think it is just so cute and heartwarming, so definitely one I need to buy for myself eventually, but probably not right now. I really, really enjoyed it, and I loved it. I really loved it. I loved it a lot. Next, we have Does It Hurt by H.D. Carlton. So basically, this book follows Enzo and Sawyer, but essentially one day Sawyer and Enzo meet and they go on this first date, and Sawyer actually steals Enzo's identity and starts racking up credit card debt under his name. And so he makes it his life mission to find Sawyer and make her regret it. So they go on a second date on a boat, and basically they crash land on this island with this lighthouse, and things go from there. It's honestly, it is a dark romance, but it's like almost borderline on like, it's definitely mystery. I feel like it's very thrilling too, but I also don't read mystery thrillers, so don't take my word for that, I guess. But I really loved this. I loved Sawyer as a character. I also really liked Enzo. I really, really liked Enzo. Yeah, this was my first H.D. Carlton that I actually rated a 5-star. I love her Haunting and Hunting Adeline series, but I really, really loved this one. It was so good. It's a travesty, but we live and we learn to annotate things when we have them. Actually, I don't know that I owned that one before I read it. I think I bought it after the fact, so I really, really liked it. Next, we have, I think it's the Him series by Serena Bowen and Elle Kennedy, and it consists of Him and Us, and then there's a little novella called Epic. Did not rate this one 5 stars, but it's so little. Look how little that is. I'm gonna need to delete some footage after I talk about the series, so let's just get into it. Him is the first book, and Elle Kennedy is actually very, very popular. She wrote the Off-Campus series and the Briar Youth series, and when I found out that she had co-written something with Serena Bowen, who I've also heard good things about, I wanted to test it out. I read all 3 of these books in probably the span of 24 hours. I was literally obsessed with them. So this is another series I did not own while I was reading them. I had the audiobooks because I bought them on like an Audible sale, I think, and I was literally obsessed from page 1. So if you don't know, this book follows Wesley and Jamie, and they are estranged friends. There is something that happened in the past between them that we aren't too sure about, but we know that they both kind of feel guilty about it, so they haven't talked in the longest time until they run into each other. And Wesley is going to sign up to be a coach at this hockey thing, this hockey camp, I guess. And when Jamie finds out about this, he also jumps on the chance to become a hockey coach so that he can figure out why it has been years since his best friend has talked to him. These are freaking hella spicy. Super spicy, and I really liked it. I really, really loved both of these books. These are some of my favorite books of all time. I honestly, I had to scroll through my Goodreads because honestly, I don't feel like this year has been the best reading-wise, like quality or quantity. You're probably gonna laugh because I read almost 120 books, but like, yeah. But when I remembered that I had read these this year, yeah, I love these books a lot. And I'm excited to reread the whole series and hopefully annotate them and read. I think that they have at least another standalone together, but I really need to get into Serena Bowen's backlist too because I just love these a lot. So I'm very glad I read them. Took a chance on a series that I honestly don't hear very many people talking about, but it's so good. Alrighty, I deleted some footage, so hopefully we will have enough time to keep gushing about my favorite books. If the angle has changed at all, I sincerely apologize. I don't know how to fix that for you guys. So, Let's talk about a book that I couldn't find, but I know that I own because I think I've held it up in a couple videos. That is Anatomy, a Love Story by Dana Schwartz. If you don't know, Anatomy follows our two main characters, Jack and Hazel. And Hazel essentially wants to be a surgeon. And this is back in like the 1800s when women can't be anything but a simple housewife. And she really wants to be a surgeon. And she actually tries to infiltrate this highly prestigious school so that she can become a surgeon, but she gets caught the first day. And the person that catches her makes her deal and says, if you can pass this exam without taking my class, I will let you be my apprentice. I will let you become a surgeon. And so she feels that she has no choice but to do this. In comes Jack, and he literally steals dead bodies from the ground and sells them to colleges so that their medicine can advance. And she strikes a deal with Jack, and basically they start digging up bodies together so that she can practice for this. But there's also something more sinister going on, not with the grave robbing, though, with something else. But there's something more sinister going on that comes to light, and yeah, it is crazy. I love it so much. The ending of the book was wild. I'm surprised that I haven't read Immortality, a love story by her as well. I absolutely loved Anatomy though, and I actually had to go back and change my rating because I originally rated it a 4. And what was I even thinking? Comp title. In case you were interested. Okay, I can't actually reach it. It's literally like... Oops, sorry, Evangeline. I did not mean to knock you over like that. That was shady of me. Sorry, it's in the shelf, like literally right above this shelf. I can't reach it, but comp title, Stalking Jack the Ripper. And I love Stalking Jack the Ripper, one of my favorite series of all time. So I'm really happy that I found out about Anatomy when I did. I really think if you like one, you will like the other. So if you like Stalking Jack the Ripper, read Anatomy. Please read Anatomy. Please. Please. Okay. Next, let's talk about something that came so out of left field for me that I was just so freaking literally shocked by. Aristotle and Dante Discovered the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin O'Leary Sains. This book hurts to hold. It still hurts. I know that I mentioned it in maybe my mid-year book freakout tag. This book literally hurts so bad to look at and to hold. It hurts even worse because I literally have like, look at this. I have a magnetic bookmark because I didn't want to start annotating it because it took me a little while to warm up to this book. But if you don't know, this book follows Ari and Dante, and I literally just said their names and I still had to look at the back of the book for their names. That's how well my brain is working right now. Anyways, so we have Ari and Dante, and they are best friends, and they are it's a coming of age story. They're kind of learning more about each other, more about themselves. It's just so heartwarming. There's a lot of like family discussions, a lot of discussions about some hard topics. I really, really, really love this book. And there is a second book that I have yet to read. And now that I think about it, I really should have put that I wanted that one for Christmas because I do. I love this book. I adore this book. I'm so glad that I decided to read it and I didn't unhaul it because I was going to unhaul this without reading it. And yeah, I'm so glad I didn't. I really, really adore this book. So if you haven't read it, read it. I think it's pretty popular on TikTok too, so listen to the hype. Listen to the TikTok hype besties. Like, I love this book so much. The next book I want to talk about is Hooked by Emily McIntyre. I also own this book physically. I just have no clue where it is. My cat gives the dirtiest side eyes ever. I'm sorry. I know that is so off topic, but Hooked is the first book in the Never After series by Emily McIntyre, and it follows James and Wendy. And essentially, James is mega rivals with Wendy's dad, Peter. I know I'm going to get their names mixed up. I don't know why I do it, but James. the love interest. Peter is the dad. Okay, let's just keep that in the back of our minds for when I inevitably swap their names around. So, James decides that he is going to basically ruin Wendy. He is going to make her fall in love with him, and then he's going to do the ultimate act of betrayal. And I don't know if he was going to kill her. I really can't remember. But this is a dark, steamy romance. I really, really loved it. I knew I was going to like it. I had a feeling I would, but like, when I say I did not know I was going to love it this much, I really didn't. I really, really thoroughly enjoyed Hooked. I cannot wait to read the next books. It's a dark, spicy Peter Pan retelling where the heroine ends up with the bad guy. So if that sounds interesting to you, I really love it, and I think it's really good. Alrighty, next let's talk about Forest Fowl by Lindell Clipstone. So this is the second book in the Lake's Edge series. If you don't know, Lake's Edge follows Violetta and her brother is cursed in a way, and he sees these spirits and they give him night terrors. And one day the big bad of the world comes to Violetta and her brother and basically wants to take her brother away from her, and Violetta is like, I'm not staying in this household, you're taking me with you or you don't get my brother. And so he begrudgingly agrees to let Violetta and her brother come with him. And it is so dark, it is so gothic, it is so mysterious. I will say, I loved Forest Fall so much more than I liked Lake's Edge. There's a 1-star difference, but like, yeah, I love this. I will say, there's something that happens in this book that makes me feel like there should be a third book. Not that it's unsatisfying, like, this is a satisfying conclusion to the duology, but like, there needs to be a third book. There needs to be a third book, but I really thoroughly enjoyed this book. I had such a fun time reading it. It was just so great. Next, let's talk about Cherry Bomb by Carmel Rhodes. I read this book twice this year. I think this is the only book that I have read 2 times this year. I've wanted to read more books 2 times, but I read it the first time in February on KU. I literally ate it up. We were on vacation and I'm sitting there with my phone reading a dramatic reenactment. Yes, that was me. I think I also had my Kindle, so I was probably reading on my Kindle too, but I adored it, and I got the physical book and I annotated it to high heavens. This is another one I can't find, and I'm so sorry about that. Like, I'm such a noob. Where have all my books gone? Nobody knows. But if you don't know, this book follows Cherry and Cash, and one day they meet under unsuspecting, like, conditions, I guess. I don't know where I was going with that sentence. I'm so sorry. But they meet kind of by surprise. So Cherry is a waiter at this restaurant, and Cash is actually friends with the guy who owns the restaurant. So he goes in when he moves into their small town from a whole different country to eat dinner with his friends. And basically it's really spicy. It's very taboo. Like, it's a taboo romance, so know that going into it. But I really, really liked it. I will say, I'm almost positive that Cash is British, and since I'm American, I may not be the best judgment on how the British slang was used, but I feel like it was super, like, on the nose. It got less and less throughout the book, so, and I noticed it both times I read it, not just the first time. So I don't know, I think we were going really heavy-handed with the Britishness at the beginning of the book, and then it tapered off. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed it though. I love Cherry. It is, it's taboo obviously, but Cherry deals with a lot of things in her personal life, and there's talks of grief, and it is, yeah, it's a really, really good book. It handles a bunch of different topics very well, and I think it's under 400 pages. It's really good. It's a great length, if you ask me. I really, really loved it. So next, I want to talk about another book that I don't own. I own, like, the novelized version, if that makes sense, but that is Anne of Green Gables, the graphic novel. When I say I ate this shit up, excuse my language, I really did though. Like, I loved Anne of Green Gables so freaking much. It literally, like, I bought the whole box set. I bought the whole 8-box box set because I loved it so much. And I really was not expecting it to. Like, I was not expecting to be so obsessed with Anne of Green Gables. We were literally doing so well. I am so sorry. My heater just kicked on. It always does this at the most inconvenient of times, but I am so impressed by how much I love this book. So if you don't know, Anne of Green Gables follows Anne, and she is an orphan and she's adopted by this family, and they actually wanted a boy. They didn't want Anne. She's a girl. Girls can't do anything. But they tell her that they will give her a chance as long as she promises to work hard and pull her weight around. And you see this little girl who no one wants at the beginning of the book. Now we have another distraction. Say hello to the people. Hello, people. He's purring. He may look mad at me, but he is purring. Okay, we're gonna put you in my lap. There we go. You just stay right here while I finish talking about that, okay? So, you see this girl who basically no one has wanted her whole life become a girl that people love and cherish, and they're so glad that they have her, and it is just so heartwarming, and it, like, I don't think it made me tear up. It might have, but it was just so heartwarming, and I can't even imagine. Okay, well, my cat's gone, so I cannot even fathom the way I loved this book and how much I loved it. And yeah, I can't wait to hopefully maybe get to the box set next year. At least the first one is definitely on my 2024 TBR. Spoilers. But I hope I remember that I said that. But I really enjoyed it. And Anne grows on you so much as a character throughout the book. And she's so sweet. And I love her so much. And I really wish they would have continued on with the graphic novelization of the series. But yeah, I loved it. It's on KU. If you're interested, I'm pretty sure it is. So you should go check it out. The next one. Also don't own a physical copy because I literally just read it. I guess it's been a little bit longer now. So I think I read it in November. Literally haven't finished a single book in December, but that's besides the point. It's called It Takes Three, and it's by J. Jones. I literally cannot put the cover up, or else I fear that YouTube will strike me. So, if you don't know, It Takes Three follows our main girl character, who I do not know the name of. What a shocker. What a surprise. So, I don't remember her name, but basically we follow our main character. And when she goes to college, she gets noticed by these two guys, and one of them basically beats the other one to get her. And they're both, like, majorly in love with her. But what they don't know is she is also majorly in love with the both of them. And at the beginning of the book, it opens up and we find out that she's having issues with her boyfriend, but we don't know the reasoning. And oh my gosh, I loved it. It is literally, like, it's a novella. It's a why choose romance, and it is I will say there's an MFM scene. However, the brothers do not do anything. They do not do anything. I would not be talking about this on my channel. I would have not even read it. I did not realize, by the way, when I found out that it was like why choose reverse harem kind of thing, I was like, between brothers, you have got to literally be yanking my chain right now. They don't do anything with each other. They don't do anything with each other. They only do it to her. So, like, don't worry. It's so steamy. It's so spicy. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think I literally, like, I know on Goodreads it probably says that I read it in more than one day, but I feel like I read it all in one sitting, if I'm not mistaken, for the most part. So I really, really enjoyed it. It is a travesty. I'm also not talking about the third book in this series, but we have let's take a moment. Let's literally take a moment. We have these wonderful, beautiful creations that I was so blessed to read this year. We have Once Upon a Broken Heart and The Ballad of Never After. Now, before we get into it, this is my favorite, travesty. Okay, now that we've gotten that out of the way, if you don't know what Once Upon a Broken Heart is about, it follows our main character, Evangeline, and One day, Evangeline wakes up to find a wedding announcement for the man that she's in love with and her stepsister. She goes and finds this temple of this god in this world, or aka like a fate, that's what they're called, the King of Hearts, Jax. And she finds his temple, and she makes a deal with him that basically if he will stop a wedding, she will give him 3 kisses in exchange for that, but things don't necessarily go her way in this book, and she realizes that maybe it wasn't such a great idea to make a deal with a fate after all. And I loved this book. I was reading the audiobook along with reading this physically, and as you can tell, the last, like, I'd say probably 200 pages, I literally could not keep up. I could not annotate fast enough to keep listening to the audiobook, and I had to keep listening to the audiobook. So I just said, screw it, and I laid in my bed with my headphones on, and I listened to it. I'm pretty sure both of these books I listened to in, like, basically one sitting. I am so obsessed with this series. I love it so much. Like I said, Ballad is definitely my favorite book in the series, but this book is so freaking good, and there's a reason why everybody talks about it all the time. I love the series so much. I love Stephanie Garber. She is one of my favorite authors. The Caraval series is my favorite by her, and I'm very excited to read the 3rd book. I cannot remember what it's called right now. I apologize. I'm a fake fan, but A Curse for True Love. Look at me go. Because Finale, which was the last book in the Caraval trilogy, was actually my favorite book in the series, so I'm very, very excited to see how this wraps up. I love this book so much. I love this series. I love Jax. I love Evangeline. I really like the cast of characters we have. I feel like we have a wide variety of characters with different motivations, and I just love it. So I'm very happy that I managed to get to this year, because I did actually have Once Upon a Broken Heart pre-ordered before it came out, and then I was just so nervous to read it, and I'm just so glad I read it this year. I'm so glad I read it. I love this. It's so good. I hope I have time to get to the 3rd book, but whew, I am struggling, you guys. Like, I don't even have tomorrow's video edited, and yeah, it needs to be edited and uploaded tomorrow. So anyways, these books are most of my 5-star reads this year, and let me just say, even though I did not have the quantity of 5-star books that I read that I wanted, I did have a really good year of 5 stars. Like, these books and the other books I talked about are literally top tier books for me, so I'm very, very glad that I got to all of them this year. If you have read any of these books, let me know your thoughts down below on them, and let me know what some of your favorite 5-star reads are of this year. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button while you're at it if you want to see some more Bookmas content from me. And also, while you're at the subscribe button, you should hit the little bell notification so you're notified every time I post a new video. And without further ado, I will let you guys go and talk to you in my next video in a couple days. Thank you guys so much for watching again, and I will see y'all later. Bye, everyone.
When you're not here, the sun don't shine. When you're not near, I don't feel like I do when you're with